6 women who blew the whistle on alleged sexual misconduct at an elite Ivy League college are speaking out publicly for the first time. Their accusations last year led to the ouster of 3 prominent professors in the psychology and brain sciences department at Dartmouth College. A criminal investigation is now underway in New Hampshire. The women spoke with Jericka Duncan for a story you'll see only on CBS This Morning. Jericka, good morning.
Good morning. It's almost like here we go again. A few hours ago, the women filed a $70 million federal lawsuit accusing Dartmouth officials of ignoring numerous complaints going back more than a decade. They claim the school didn't protect them from the professors' predatory behavior, which they say included groping, harassment, and even worse. Both of you all say you were raped by former Dartmouth professors.
Yes. Yeah, I would say so.
To hear me ask you that question, what goes through your mind?
I still can't accept that that happened.
27-year-old Vasaki Chauhan and 30-year-old Christina Rapuano are budding cognitive neuroscientists. Chauhan is working on her PhD at Dartmouth College. Rapuano received hers this year. Rapuano says while attending a conference in California in 2015, she was raped by William Kelly, a professor who had taken her under his wing.
Essentially, I have no memory of this night. I didn't even remember waking up.
Do you remember how much you had to drink?
I had thought that I had just been drinking heavily. Now I'm unsure.
What did he tell you happened?
That we had sex, and I had no memory of it, but I was very clear about how I didn't want that to ever happen again.
Chauhan says she was raped last April.
I have a strategy.
In the home of Paul Whelan, another star professor.
I tried to get out of the situation as soon as possible. It was only when he started reaching for more intimate parts of my body that I was unambiguous about the fact that this is not something I wanted.
Kelly and Whelan resigned this summer after Dartmouth hired an outside investigator. A third professor, Todd Heatherton, retired. Dartmouth says the men did not receive any severance payments. In a federal lawsuit filed this morning, 7 women, including Rapuano and Chauhan, say Dartmouth administrators knew about the animal house culture in the department since at least 2002. These professors leered at, groped, sexted, intoxicated, and even raped female students, according to the class action complaint. How many of you all were either sexually assaulted or sexually harassed by former Dartmouth professors? Raise your hand. All of you. Anne-Marie Brown, Andrea Courtney, Sasha Britsky, and Marissa Evans are also plaintiffs. How many of you all felt supported when you went to administrators about what happened? No one.
These men had all of the power in the department. They controlled all of their resources. Opting out of the boys' club culture meant that you were cut off from those resources.
I went to my first academic conference in March 2017. I was at a karaoke bar with a bunch of other graduate students. Todd Heatherton came in extremely intoxicated. He grabbed my butt and sit me on his lap. And now I had been sexualized in front of a room full of potential colleagues. I felt humiliated and I felt extremely angry.
I had a conversation in my first year of graduate school with Paul Whelan in which he openly bragged about retaliation.
Did you feel like he was threatening you?
I was confused at the time, but the line, of course, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, was burned into my memory for all of graduate school, and it remained a constant threat.
I took every course that Bill Kelly offered in the department. He started to escalate all of those inappropriate text messages and make it more sexual. I would blow it off the best that I could, but when I did, I was taken off of projects. I would get comments like, "Your honor thesis just got a lot harder."
A Dartmouth spokesman told CBS This Morning they applaud the women for bringing the misconduct allegations to their attention last year. However, we respectfully but strongly disagree with the characterizations of Dartmouth's actions in the complaint.
It's really intimidating to come out as a victim rather than a brain scientist, which is what we went to Dartmouth to be.
So you feel like you may take a professional blow by speaking out?
Yes.
We've gotten a lot of professional feedback to just put our heads down and do science.
I lose sleep at night thinking of like all of the discoveries in science that haven't been made because women were driven out.
Through his attorney, Todd Heatherton denied ever having sex with students. He did admit he acted unprofessionally while intoxicated, for which he apologized. Our attempts to reach Kelly and Waylon were unsuccessful. We were talking about this while the story was airing. There's so much here, and it really comes down to the power. These were their academic advisors. One professor was responsible for bringing in over $21 million in grant money to the college. So they felt this obligation, according to them, to play this game in order to advance. They were going for their doctorate.
Well, yeah, they were professors. They were their mentors. They were. I think the other important thing to point out was that last soundbite.
With that woman.
Laying awake at night, thinking about all the scientific discoveries that have not been made because women were pushed out. That is true in every field that harassment happens. Every field.
It reminds me of the piece that you did in the military.
Yes, all the great people who wanted to serve our country,
and they just said,
fly fighter jets,
deal with it.
serve in combat, but have been pushed out because of systematic and pervasive harassment.
Yeah, and the retaliation that followed suit, right?
Very glad they're speaking up.
Yes.
Thank you, Jericka.